Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we have a lovely 1v1 between Ptaq and ZLO on this very lovely map of Zed Remake. I am a big fan of this map, the colours, everything, it's just so interesting. So it does look like this may be one of the matches from the Farm Man League. I'm not too much involved with that, so I'm not exactly sure what the details are of that, but I believe it's mainly a 1v1 league matches of different types of skill levels. So I'll be interested to see how these two players pair up. For those that aren't aware, this map is a bit different. We have a flat terrain across the middle here, which vehicles are perfectly fine with. However, the sections down here are only traversable by bots, but also a little thing to note is around the edges you can tend to get like ticks and stuff around the edges to harass, and also because of the way radar works, it is not visible. So as we zoom in here, we have a look at what each player is going. We have Ptaq here on the south side, who is playing Cortex and is going bots, and we have a similar start here from ZLO, who is going Cortex and is also going bots. So both players basically doing the same thing right now. Interestingly enough to see, we see Ptaq here with a OS rank of 47 and ZLO actually quite a bit ahead with an OS of 52. So ZLO's doing really well recently, and Ptaq not so much, as he was saying in the chat. And we're starting to see a little bit of difference here between start choices here. You can see a Resbot is already out and getting the energy, whereas ZLO is only just about to start getting that. Now, the reason why they're doing that is because these rocks here, or the crystals rather, have a vast abundance of energy inside of them. So if we hover over one, for example, you can see that there is 200 energy and 10 metal. So what this means is that you don't necessarily have to invest too heavily into energy, because you can just get some Resbots to do that for you. You see, that's both what both players are doing right now. Ptaq a little bit ahead. Ptaq being very greedy and having 4 engineers straight off the bat. Whereas ZLO is only got 3 out so far. Just about to build his 4th, but Ptaq hasn't expanded whatsoever. So as we can see here, ZLO is expanding along the top and to the right and downwards from his position, whereas Ptaq is just all in his base and hasn't left at all. So, early advantage is definitely to ZLO right now. Neither commander has left the base, with ZLO just starting to move out now. So what can we expect from this map? These side bits here are very difficult to defend. Because of the way that radar works, you can not really see very well down there unless you place it right on the edge. And that also means that, you know, with example this unit here, press traversability map, not only can go up there, but you can also go around like that. So you have to defend so many different avenues, and that leaves like these side eco open quite a bit. Also, this here is actually like some sort of acid / lava, so you're not going to be able to get any units through that. And terrain deformation can play a bit of an impact there as well. And the first bit of combat goes underway here. Ptaq actually sending all of his forces up to this north side of ZLO, trying to get these double mexes out early, but so far no impact. He doesn't have the same amount of forces on the south side. Does manage to get the mechs, the half-built LLT, and that is it. He's going to try and get that Resbot, but doesn't succeed. He's definitely outgunned here, so he should probably fall back with his forces. Meanwhile, both players have their comms in the middle. Ptaq trying to get some units around the flank, but seeing a bit of issue here for Ptaq, as he has got one grunt through here, And another grunt through there at the bottom, which is going to run straight into his base, and he has nothing there to defend it. This one grunt isn't reacting quick enough. Aku's not paying attention, and he is going to lose a bit of wind here. Surprisingly enough, the metal extractor doesn't get focused, and it's just the winds that get lost. Not too big a deal here. And at this point, we see both players basically on the same economy-wise. Taku a little bit further ahead, purely because he has this mechs on his side and ZLO doesn't. In terms of units, though, we see that the units produced, ZLO is miles ahead with 91 as opposed to the 75 of Taku. And Taku has also lost 21 units. So Taku somewhere in the region of maybe about 20-30 units behind, if not more than that right now. So it's not looking good for him. As we can see, just spreading out here, the kind of unit loss on Taku's side, the amount that he has there is basically the equivalent to this section here, whereas all of this is just extra units. Now, we do see a ping here, an aircraft plant coming out from ZLO as a support factory. He does have some construction turrets and decent economy going at the moment. He might be a bit short on energy, but I'm sure that'll be dealt with very quickly. He's actually fine at the moment, but as soon as he starts building energy, well, airplanes rather, they use a lot of energy, that is going to drop. Yep, there we go. See, completely gone. But as long as there's still crystals for him to reclaim, which actually there are none, he has no extra energy. Meanwhile, Taku has no idea that the bombs are coming. Taku is going to just try and hold out in the middle here. He has gone for thugs. But this bombing run is probably going to hurt Taku quite a bit. However, saying that, he's building a lot of wind at the front line instead. Don't quite get what this guy is doing. And here come the bombers. So Taku would have now just got their aircraft spotted notification. And he's rapidly trying to queue up air defenses. And there we go. That's the first set of bombs landed. Scouts gone. 3, 4 air defenses up. So, no, just 3. And only 2 sets of bombs get to go off. Relatively big impact, but at the same time, they got 1 metal extractor and about 7 wins. Taku is already rebuilding them on his front. But I don't know if that was necessarily the right call here. I don't get what ZLO's doing with these guys just attacking ground. It may be he is just trying to distract Taku. Because if you hear that noise, you hear something shooting, you're like, right, where's that shooting? And so you're trying to find out where it is. So maybe that's why. Also, you see an interesting tactic here. ZLO was hiding his forces in this little dip. And here come another set of bombers. Yep, they're going to definitely get those metal extractors. Although they don't get them on the first run, which is going to be a bit annoying for ZLO here. And I have to go back round. They're not going to get killed though by that single air defense. LLTs do a fairly decent job at hitting them, but these side mexes are definitely going to go down here. And only 1 bomb gets off from that second run. So, oh, I've missed that. A vehicle transition from Taku here. The missile truck's good against air, which he's building a lot of right now. And the tankiness of the brutes should help push through a little bit. Everyone that is spectating is pinging this. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. How he might be just trying to get attention. Now, economy-wise, both players are fairly even. If anything, Taku is actually ahead. Even though he's down a mechs currently. These bombers keep coming in. They're not really getting too much of an impact anymore. Oh, those res bots might have been in a bad spot. Unfortunately, he has nothing that he can do against that with just these res bots and grunts. And yeah, Taku being pinned into a corner with the bombs. Rocket tanks here coming out, gonna slowly start picking away at the LLTs. Don't really do much damage, as you can see. It's gonna take a while for them to actually do anything here. We see only the first LLT being taken out by that. It does, though, make these shurikens somewhat now pointless. And we also see ZLO has now reclaimed that factory and has also transitioned to vehicles himself. Now, this is big. We also see that ZLO here has the Geo, and yet to build the Geo is Taku. So, can Taku play off the early transition well enough here? We'll have to find out, but the sheer amount of tanks that ZLO has right now is a lot more than what Taku has. And rather than building actual brutes, he's only just transitioned to brutes after getting a couple of pounders as well. But ZLO goes in on this. He can definitely wipe out the majority of Taku's army pretty much straight away, unless Taku gets a lucky D-gun off. Manages to take a big chunk of them out. Bomber has come back for another run on those metal extractors. The very aggressive Resbot run there into the middle to get all the reclaim. Now, those laser towers are not going to last very long with that many artilleries on this field. Now, big fight happening in the middle, which is what we kind of expected with the transition to vehicles. It'll be interesting to see if either player still uses the grunts that they've got to do a bit of a flank. It does look like Taku lost all his. Whereas ZLO still has quite a few left. The biggest difference here is that Taku's actually repairing his tanks. Whereas ZLO is not. Although saying that, ZLO is building construction turrets on the front line in order to do that. So he might not need to. And the issue is Wolverines are just basically rocket trucks on steroids. Who needs better long-range fighting? When you've got artillery, you don't need rockets. Thing is, he built the rockets specifically to counter the air, which he does still need, because there are still shurikens around. Not that Taku knows that. But artilleries would definitely play better than rocket trucks at this point. Meanwhile, quickly checking back at bases here, we see Taku is still pounding on ahead with the economy, but here comes a big push from ZLO as Taku is having a fall back, but ZLO actually turns around. ZLO definitely has the unit advantage here. I don't know what he's playing at. Oh, here we go. The grunts tried to come in from the side, but from Taku, but got completely destroyed. And the rocket trucks just trying to harass these Wolverines whenever they come in, but not really getting any kills. Yeah, this is a bit of a stalemate here. I'll be interested to see if any player decides they want to try and transition to Tech 2 with this stalemate. We are 14 minutes in and nothing's really changed. And there we go. We see the transition to bots for Ptaq. Now, the issue is here for Taku is that he has a significant unit disadvantage right now. ZLO is definitely very far ahead on units. So we just quickly highlight this. There is 74 units there as opposed to 28. So yeah, a very vast, significant difference. And if ZLO decides to try and all in on this, I honestly do think he will come out on top. The artillery is destroying Taku's units as well. We have some commentary here from the other spectators. With the slow push of these construction turrets here, basically countering the damage from the rocket trucks as all of the damage just gets healed off. But Taku's factory just now coming off build, and the first thing he's building is spy bots, interestingly enough. Do we see a tip to transition from ZLO? No, we do not. And again, the slow forward march from ZLO. Unfortunately, Taku's commander has actually had to fall back. Here comes a bit of a tank push here. There is definitely a lot more tanks on ZLO's front. Taku doesn't really want to fight this, but with the amount of energy he's got invested on this front line, he also doesn't really want to just throw it all away. Interesting to see the amount of energy difference income here. Taku with 2.5k, 2.7k, as opposed to ZLO's 1k. And these spy bots are not really gonna... Oh, the spy bot EMP there actually manages to take out a bunch of the tanks. That was clearly his idea to begin with, but that is trying to force an all-in from ZLO with these grunts, and they are going to take out the majority of that economy on that side. I mean, even if he pulls down with them, I don't think they're going to be able to really stop that. Taku really stressed here with what's going on. Another EMP goes off, does manage to block off a lot of those tanks. But still, the sheer volume of grunts left on the field is going to be too much for Taku really to deal with. As grunts are now starting to leak through into the base. He desperately needs something to out, and here come the shurikens. No rocket trucks left, and that will be all of the army of Taku EMP'd now. These grunts doing a great job of actually ignoring everything else and just getting these air defenses. Taku's commander stood next to some volatile stuff, now down to 50% health, and as we see 3.3k metal left here in the field in the middle. And these grunts are just causing mayhem for Taku. He's urgently trying to rush out some Tech 2 Fiends, but I don't think they're going to get built quick enough. He's already lost the Tech 2 Engineer. And unfortunately, this does look like the end for Taku. Spy Bots was not a bad play, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too late as he did not have that unit. The artillery just bombing away now. What could Taku have done differently? Well, that's difficult to say. Both players here are very good. The Fiend's trying to push in, but he's not really going to be able to do much. He's at such a unit disadvantage right now that what can he actually do? I mean, he's also got a few shurikens left, and he's going to have to invest into some form of air defense in order to take them out, but there's like literally just the two left, and it's a bit of a waste. These Fiends are also going to struggle to get within range and do enough damage. There's such a large amount of enemy units here as well that he wants to try and engage, but he just can't get close without taking too much damage. There's nothing for these Fiends to tank for him. He just tickles them a bit, but definitely takes more damage than he's given out here. And the slow ball of artillery creeping ever closer to Taku. trying to push out more Fiends, but we actually see no worries from ZLO here. No transition to Tech 2 at all. He's counting on the Tech 1 supremacy here. Now, in theory, Taku could break off some forces to go around here, but realistically, he desperately needs those Fiends right now. He cannot afford to split them off. It's the only thing keeping ZLO from marching right into his base. And the self-destruct going off from the Fiends there, causing a slightly increased AoE, but we now look at the unit numbers. 3 Fiends to all of that 67 units from ZLO. And unfortunately, I don't see Taku coming back from this at all. So, I mean, the main difference between the two playstyles right now is that, ZLO did some great harass with air. Just causing Taku to pay attention to other things rather than to actually his front line. But on top of that, the issue is that Taku didn't build artillery when ZLO did. The artillery is what forced Taku back. Taku also lost a lot more units than ZLO, meaning that he's able to build this force up. And with that, Taku decides it's game over. So yeah, well played ZLO. And thank you guys for watching. If you like more of these sorts of casts, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.